So the last time on the light in the shed is really last time I had this brake caliper bracket for the Brembo caliper there, which Trav has made. This is like a dummy version, and just put it in there to check. It was touching the rotor just, so it's only like a fraction of changes that needed to be done. And Trav has sent me this one here. So this one's got some changes made to it. He's also pocketed it out, just a bit of weight saving. It also looks kind of cool. So I'm going to rip off the wheel now and then make sure that the changes have worked, but then also do a bit of a comparo with the standard brake caliper bracket to this one weight wise, because I've got the little scale there. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, but it wasn't a weight saving exercise. But wheel off that one in, see if it works. So this is the video where I'm not really doing a lot of work on the bike, but just a quick update. It is sort of sitting where it was before. I've done a couple of little bits and pieces, but it's more just been waiting out, getting things happening. We've actually finalised the rear brake caliper bracket, which means that I can get that back now, get the wheel on, get all the proper bolts in, and then work that part out. The other thing I'm doing is I did go over some of the welds before. I think I mentioned in the last video on the tank, and unfortunately, and I'll put my hand up for this, me here, there was still a couple of small leaks in there, which I filled the tank up with soapy water, and I think I've found a couple of tiny little leaks there and there. Very, very minor. I've got the proper Newton cap in there now. That's just bolted in without the nylock nuts in it, just with normal nuts, because they're a pain to get to, so I only want to do that once. But I might go over those welds again, or failing that I might actually get Robbie to go over them, because he's done it before. But you may have just noticed in the foreground here though, I accidentally acquired this, which is a 1993, hence the number, so I'm not going to go on Marquez on this because it's a 93 model. CBR900 track bike, and this is from my mate Stuart in Sydney, who's the editor of Australian Motorcyclist magazine. They are concentrating on their other bike this coming season for the PCRA racing, and he's had this bike for a while and decided to part with it, and got in touch with me, and I just couldn't resist because it's got a built 945cc engine in it. I don't know if there's any footage of this on the track. I did get it yesterday. It arrived. Big thanks to Rob from Motor Logistics. He bought it over from Sydney. Really nice truck he's got there, well set up. It wouldn't start because in typical CBR land, the plugs were like super duper fouled, and yeah, it was just backfiring and going like crazy because I think the carbies need a tune. But I threw a set of spark plugs in it today and fired it up. It runs pretty rich, but it sounds angry as hell, which is cool. So apparently this bike makes about 152 horsepower at the wheel, which is awesome for a CBR 900. Yeah, but it has got a bunch of trick parts on it, even down to, if I can see on this side, proper NRC racing covers, which for those who don't know, like NRC covers are pretty cool, and I don't know if they're rare now, but I believe it stands for Niagara Racing Company, and they are a proper magnesium cover, so you don't need a double cover on them. It's got a manual time chain tensioner, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, and you know, that nice Vance & Hines muffler there, so pretty cool bike. And yeah, that's some plans for this one here. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of leaning on doing something with it, but we'll see. Starting off, I may just get it on the dyno, tune it, and then take it out, cut a couple of laps on it and see what it goes like. But we'll be just giving it a once over, going over a few things, and throwing some Bendix Moto pads in it, because they've got the SRT pads which we're going to be putting in it, and then yeah, see what happens. So just a short update, more coming here, just disaster area here, stuff everywhere, but it's all controlled chaos. But yeah, see how we go. So we're here with the esteemed Andra Championship legend Jim, Mr. Modesty himself. I got a feeling this thing's going to be loud.
What's the sort of exhaust has it got?
Vance and Hines. Well, I think it's a full Vance and Hines system.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, your favourite. Whoa, this is on super wide mode. Wow, look at that. Got my spanner. We've just done a dyno run. It's super duper rich. Gonna rip off the carbies, do a compression check as well. Check what the jets and everything is, but grab these off and, oh, this one, and see what's going on. Had the carbies off, messed around with the jets. It's gone slightly lower in main jets and messing around with the other jets, but it's been a bit chaotic, so I haven't really filmed much. But this is more just about getting some cool dyno footage of this thing, seeing what it does. So far I think he's only revved it for like 8 grand or something like that, but yeah, we're gonna do one more run, see what it does. And I'm charging GoPro batteries because I forgot to charge this. Whoops.
Bump going on there at the end. I don't know what that's the torque, really. And you got to be careful. You get little bumps and stuff, and people get all excited about, 137 or something. But really, it's just a snigger. It's not really a thing sometimes. So it's sort of maybe 136 kind of thing before it's near fuel's pretty good. 13.1.
Okay, just a quick update on what I've been doing with the bikes and stuff like that. Still a bit time poor at the moment with trying to get stuff done to get this engine happening for the Nicky Hayden, well, Erion bike. And I've sort of done something, I post up a bit of stuff on Instagram and that, but I've got another bike here which I just happened to get a hold of. And it's not wasn't super cheap, but it's worth every cent because it's got a built engine in it. And yeah, I'll give you a quick tour on what's going on right now because I'm standing in a dyno room. So here, without all the fairings and stuff on it, I'll post some other pictures up. This is a 93 CBR900. It's been raced in PCRA racing. That tail is like a 98-99 SC33 tail, so that's not the right one for it, but that's just what was on it. But I bought this from my mate Stu, who is the editor of Australian Motorcyclist magazine. This bike has been raced by himself and Alex, so hence the Picos Woody Racing in PCRA. The engine recently had a refresh. I believe specs wise it's a 945cc. Head's been ported. It's got big cams in it, you can tell that just by the way it runs. And it also has a set of FCR 39s on it. When I got it, it was running super duper rich, so I brought it down to Jim's here at Superbike Performance. Jim's an absolute legend. He's got a zillion and one Andra drag racing trophies, and just a cool dude to hang out with. Knows a thing or three about dyno tuning and FCRs, so I haven't really filmed much, but yesterday I was in here. I changed the jets a few times. We sort of went up and down. I raised the needles to try something, so I'm actually just about to drop them back down again. Actually no, I dropped them, now I'm raising them back up again. Yeah, apparently this makes about 150 at the rear wheel horsepower. Yeah, we haven't really pushed it that hard yet. I did notice that it had got a Vance and Hines Power Pack CDI unit for you, and if you don't know what they are, I will grab it. And shout out to Dose Coffee on Marion Road in Adelaide. They make a really nice coffee. But yeah, this is a Vance and Hines Power Pack. These are unicorn stuff and hard to get now. This is a basic plug-in unit from Vance and Hines back in the early 90s. I don't know when they started making them. Made them for a bunch of bikes, but inside you can flip switches and change tunes and stuff like that. I don't know if this was used on the bike much, but yeah, I might throw it on there and just see what it does. Not actually wanting to rev this thing any higher because, you know, it's more, this is, you know, it's not a race bike that I'm going to be trying to wring its neck out of. It's just an engine. And part of the reason why I bought this was because I thought when I was buying this that I might actually be able to pull the engine out of this and put it into the Nicky Hayden bike and then get that bike done quicker, just so I can get that on the road. But now I'm sort of falling in love with this thing a bit because I'm not massively in love with the glittery paint job. That's going to go. But it's pretty cool. I mean, it's got full YSS rear shock in it. The forks have been done. It's got titanium bolts everywhere. It's got a full Vance and Hines exhaust system front to back. Just a lot of little things that are done which are quite cool, but maybe if I give this a birthday we'll change a few things. Actually also looking, it's had holes drilled everywhere just to save weight, which is, it was kind of cool. The subframe's all chopped down, and yeah, so I'd like to get this on the scales as well because it's also running a total loss system, and for anyone who doesn't know what that means, it means that there's no charging system. So inside the stator cover there's no firewheel or stator, which that's probably a kilogram in itself, I guess, or more, and no voltage regulator, that sort of thing. So basically you have to charge a battery every time you ride this thing because it just runs off the battery, it doesn't charge itself. But most race bikes that are pretty serious will like that anyway, just because of weight purposes. It still does run a starter motor, so a bit easier, and a fuel pump, so there's a bit of power draw there. But I think this thing, by the looks, it was set up, I'd have to ask you, but so that it started off an external battery just to save power consumption. But other than that, he said they did race it in a 1 hour long race and the battery didn't go flat, so pretty good. But yeah, anyway, that's my boring tour of this bike. Right now, like I said, I'm going to change the needle height. I've also got a set of Dyno coils and some better leads, which I'm going to try. At this point, it's made 139 what's it say? 139.67 horsepower at the back wheel, which is pretty good considering my other bike, which is mostly stock, made about 121. I think the 893s made 110 kind of thing. So, you know, maybe if this thing gets up in the 140s, then pretty cool. But like I said, not expecting a lot. May or may not use this engine in the other bike yet, but we'll see how we go. But as you know, I'm a CBR900 tragic, so couldn't help myself. And I actually bought this with the money I had sitting around from when I sold my 98R1. So yeah, one bike out, one bike in. Alright, so that's the needles there. As you can see, they've got little notches on them. Might even go to the microscope. Magnifying glass thingy. Alright, so I just need to change them by a notch. So there we go. spent like the last few days wondering whether I should strip this bike down or keep it the way it is, and I've decided to strip it down. Basically, this bike here was one that has joined the team now, so to speak, and in the grand scheme of things I really want to get the bike behind it done, but the engine's going to take longer than I thought. So just so happened to cotton on to the fact that this was going to be for sale, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stripping this down and taking the engine out of it to get the other bike done, because this does have a 945cc engine. Put it on the dyno the other day and it made 145 horsepower at the back wheel. It didn't really rev it past 11, so apparently it's made more, so it might have been revved higher or something like that. But yeah, it was pretty strong. Went through it all with Jim from Superbike Performance, changed a bunch of jets, that sort of thing. It was a good experience for me too, because I sort of had a fairly hands-on and you know, a fair bit of input into what we were doing tuning wise, but he's the guru, so I'm happy to learn. I've stripped down Fireblades plenty of times before, so this shouldn't be a very long process. I am going to put this bike back together. I do have a bit of a plan for it, and part of that plan is sitting right next to me on the floor. Maybe later on the engine will go back into this when I finish building the other engine, but just want to rush the 919 engine that I've got for that one up there, because I don't know whether I'm going to go bigger bore or whatever. But regardless of the fact, here's some shots of this on the dyno. I was thinking about riding it before stripping it down, but need to get things done. So I do have my other white track bike, which is ready to go and ready to go on track. All of the suspension, everything's sorted now, so just a matter of getting my new leathers, and then I can take it out, throw a set of tyres on it, and I do have some Bendix Moto pads coming for it as well, the road and track pads. So I'm going to strip this thing down and carefully place it somewhere ready for when I put it all back together. But I need to get this engine out, make sure it's all nice and clean, throw it in the other bike, and then I can get stuck into getting that Erion bike happening. So slight mega update on the bike now. I've shot ahead, didn't really film a lot of stuff, did a bit of a time lapse before, but engine's in now and I've gone and just started bolting stuff on. So here's where we're at, and yeah, a little bit more dicking around, got to do a wiring loom for it, but shouldn't be too far off firing up. So there you have it. They're the same FCRs that were on the engine on the dyno the other day, and I've just changed these because the other velocity stacks don't fit in the Erion airbox. Got the Erion exhaust system on it, bit dark in here. No more of those tacky blue hoses because this is all black. I did have a set of these nice silicone hoses lying around, so all brand new. Fuel pumps bolted in. That's just sort of dummied up there at the moment, but that'll be sorted. Bracket for the exhaust on. Also got Trav's finished bracket for the brake caliper. Only problem was the brake caliper I had is completely stuffed, so I've got to get another one. Unfortunate that, but yeah, them's the brakes, pun intended. But yeah, other than that, pretty good. So anyway, I'm not going to talk for too long because I just ordered pizza, so I'm pretty hungry. It's been a long day. I'm going to go get some food. Sound like Jeremy Clarkson then. I'm gonna go get some food. Get some food. Anyway.